Hey everybody, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. It is your lucky day today because you have no other than Bryce. Think twice, or look twice, Bryce. I don't even know my own name here. In the studio, and we have some very special guests today. I'm super excited to bring them on. But first, let's just talk. Blake, is there any football game going on this weekend? I have no idea.
It's playoff weekend.
Okay.
All I know off the top of my head is when the Cowboy game is.
Oh, January 22nd. I was invited to a watch party, whatever that is. So
it's just where it's a big group of people watching it, and
yeah.
Most of them are getting drunk at some point.
Yeah.
If you're driving home, do not.
Listen, guys, I've never been drunk in my life, so that says something for you. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thank you. But
I'm 40 and I've only been drunk twice.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But it's been a crazy week. I guess to give you guys a little bit of an inside, exclusive for those watching. I'm in my first week of my final semester of college. I go to UT Arlington, yeah, and I've got a lot. I got a lot going on this semester. It's kind of crazy, scary at the same time, and I'm like, we're almost there. So
this first week has been super stressful for you.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of a wild week, but I'm really happy to be here. I love being at BCB Live. I also know, as everybody says, school is good for you. It's going to benefit you in the future. So if it could just come a little bit faster, that'd be great. But so we have some exciting things coming up. We have TCA in Orlando, March 4th through the 7th. We will have our own booth there and be doing live broadcast daily, all day, every day, multiple times a day. And we'll be seeing, I know for sure Courtney will be out there. I'm not sure about Renee, our other guest with WAA. But it's going to be a really fun time, great event to connect at. So if any of our viewers are watching and you want to connect with BCB Live when you're out there, contact me because I will get things going and get it scheduled.
How are they going to contact you?
Guys, I'm like crazy about LinkedIn. So if you contact me on LinkedIn, I will respond.
I get freaking notifications just about you all the time.
My friends make fun of me. I'm on LinkedIn more than I am on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know, TikTok I'm on probably the most, I will admit that. But so just message me there and we'll get something set up. So, all right, well, we have Courtney George and Renee, who they both handle Wreaths Across America. There are two very special guests. I'm super excited to have them come in, and we'll take a real quick break, and we'll be right back. Doing today?
We're so fantastic. How are you?
Good. Y'all are did that simultaneously. You're on the same wavelength here. I'm seriously impressed right now.
We tried.
So Courtney, are you in a hotel room right now?
I am. This is cleanup week for us at Wreaths Across America. So I am in Long Island. Renee is actually in DC. So we're all making sure that Wreath retirement gets taken care of and everyone is happy.
Oh my goodness, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I want you first both to introduce yourself, and first Renee, because I hate saying people's names incorrectly. How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Worcester.
Worcester, like Worcester, almost like Worcestershire sauce, like the first part of it, right?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely. Worcester.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Renee, tell us about yourself. What do you do with Reese Across America?
I work with corporate partners and trucking partners, the director of corporate development and partnerships, and I also married into this, crazy family that started Reese Across America. So I've been lucky enough to see it from what it was just a family tradition that we were doing to what it is now, and working with so many people, volunteers, trucking communities, and it's been amazing to see the growth since when I got involved in 2000.
That's great. And how about you, Courtney?
I am Courtney George. I am the manager of transportation and industry relations. So I work with all of our trucking partners as well as set up new partners to haul loads for us. This year we had over 640 loads that were hauled in under 3 weeks, which is a pretty amazing number. And I have been a participant of Reese Across America since I worked for a trucking company. So I've been volunteering for about 7 years, and I was so lucky when they called me this year and said, "Hey, would you be interested in coming on full time?" And I couldn't say yes fast enough.
Well, I'm really excited to have you guys here. I had the pleasure of meeting you, Courtney, first time at Women in Trucking. And Renee, I didn't see you there, but first off, I have to say, are you wearing a sparkly hoodie?
Yeah, do you love it?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm trying to keep that New Year's vibe going.
I love that.
You totally read my mind, because that's what I was raising my hand for, because I wanted to tell her that I'm totally digging her hoodie.
That's so cool. Where'd you get it? I need to know.
Do you know what's really bad is that my mother-in-law got it for me, who's the executive director of Reese Across America, and she has a black one, and we were almost twinning today. So I'm not sure what that says about our relationship. The mother-in-law.
You have a cool mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. Now, let me ask you guys. So for our viewers that don't know, what is Reese Across America, and how can drivers or companies get involved with you guys?
Yeah, I'll get a little bit of a history of Reese Across America, and I'll let Courtney kind of take the trucking side of things. So Reese Across America is a national nonprofit that was established in 2007, but it started so much longer before that in 1992 when Morrill Worcester, my father-in-law, had an abundance of Reese. He had visited Arlington National Cemetery when he was a boy, and he just didn't want these Reese to go to waste, and he thought back to that experience and got the approvals to bring them down to Arlington National Cemetery. In that first year, they laid 5,000 wreaths. There was less than a dozen volunteers there, and they continued to do that until 2005. And this beautiful picture, it was the wreaths with the red bow, and it just snowed, and it was just breathtaking. You just could feel the emotion in that picture, and it went viral, and people wanted to do this same experience in their hometown to recognize and honor their own veterans. And in 2007, we established Reese Across America with a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach our next generation the value of freedom. That first year, it was one load of veteran wreaths from one trucking company in Down East Maine, and they continued the tradition, and they continued to introduce us to more and more trucking partners. And we have grown over the years. We continue to grow as far as locations goes. Starting at one at Arlington, in this past year, we were at over 3,700 participating locations and placed 2.7 million wreaths, and our mission could not be fulfilled without our partners in the trucking industry. So Courtney works so well with them, because it's all about relationships, and this has become a tradition in so many homes, communities, companies, and for the truck drivers and the trucking industry, we really try to make it as personal as they can get. And Courtney and her team has really done a great job in establishing that.
Yeah, that's great. Courtney, tell me about the trucking side, like Renee said.
We are so lucky that we have roughly 300 companies that support us, and every day I get a new inquiry. And that part I love, because from the trucking side, we grow each year by about 20%. We went from, like Renee said, this past year we had 3,700 locations. The year prior was about 3,100 locations. So to add an additional 600 locations is so important and so big. And we are so lucky that the trucking industry helps support us, and they want to do great things. We know when their drivers come up, we've created a program called the First Mile Experience that truly changes people's lives. So when they come up to get their load in Maine, we're taking them out on our tip land. We have a tree tagging program where they can place a tag in one of our balsam tree so they can remember someone that might have been a family member, a friend, even someone that they served with that's no longer with us, and they're up there and they're out on our tip land. There are over 16,000 dog tags out in our tip land. And what I will tell you is one of the most amazing moments is if you're out there. We also have a chapel on our land, and if you're on the porch there and the wind blows, you kind of hear, it sounds like a wind chime with all those dog tags, and it's just the most amazing feeling that you're ever going to get. So our drivers get the opportunity to experience that. They also come through, we have a museum at our headquarters, and we've got our driver's lounge, which is really kind of a famous thing to come up and participate in. We have a lot of drivers that come up, do their 34 or stay a couple days, because we have 3 meals a day. We are so lucky that Tyson sends their cook team up, and that cook team becomes an extension of Rees Across America. That they are feeding every driver 3 meals a day. We have snacks, we have, a pool table. We've got all types of fun things that come in, and you've got so many drivers that work together.
It's like a family reunion, Courtney. It's like a family reunion
Right.
now. I don't know if you noticed that this year. It really is like a reunion of sorts every year.
That is the best way to describe what happens there. You see people that they talk all year, and the one time that they see each other a year for a driver is right there at our driver's lounge, which is really the coolest thing.
So, gathering from this, it sounds like you both, one, love your jobs. Like
Yes,
you have something you're proud to be a part of. And I will say I first had heard of Rees Across America when I got in contact with Jeff Pierce, and BCB Live last year had taken part of some of the Trucking Tuesday segments, which was always fun and great. And every team member I've been able to meet, be a part of with Rees Across America, every one of you is great. And I think it's just so awesome that this mission that you're behind, this mission that you're pushing forward. And I mean, you must be proud to be part of a organization, a mission, a team that is doing something great for our country.
Well, it's so personal too. The people that we meet along the way, whether it's in trucking, whether it's on National Rees Across America Day, it's just so personal. And you have this personal connection because we're telling stories. When we're laying wreaths on National Rees Across America Day, we're remembering their lives, not their deaths, and we're giving support to Gold Star families, to veterans, to the families of those that are serving, and just giving them support and open conversation. It's very organic. And when you place those wreaths on National Rees Across America Day, you say the name out loud. There's a really important quote that we've heard, and we continue to pass to our volunteers, is a person dies twice, once when they take their last breath, but the second time when their name is spoken for the last time and their memory is lost. And that's something that we continue to encourage our volunteers to do. We have so many volunteers that have taken this Rees Across America mission to remember, honor, and teach, and that they've instilled it in their daily lives. Whether there are volunteers that are leading these ceremonies out at the locations, or through our sponsorship group, through Rees Across America, we felt it was going to be disingenuous of us not to work with other like-minded organizations. So we created a sponsorship opportunity where for every $17 wreath sponsorship, $5 stays with that nonprofit civic organization. And as an organization, we've given back over $20 million, which is really, to be able to give back to the organizations that are helping us is a really great opportunity. And, going back to touching so many lives, so many of these truck drivers have served in the military, have a loved one who was served. And this is, their way, just like it was Moral Worcester's, way of gifting the wreaths, it's the trucking industry's way of giving back and just saying that we will remember, honor, and teach along the way.
Yeah, I love that. And with what you were saying, Renee, can you both tell me about, what is Wreaths Across America Day? Like, elaborate on that. How was your last day of that last month, I believe, and what are you hoping for this year's Wreaths Across America Day?
Well, this past year, we placed 2.7 million wreaths at 3,700 locations, and we continue to grow every year. Courtney mentioned the growth from 21 to 2022, and that's because someone's had that experience of going to, whether it's Arlington, whether it's Long Island National, having that experience and taking it home to their community. It's an amazing opportunity to engage within the community, within the school districts, within your company, your trucking company, and just showing a united front, because Wreaths Across America it's nationwide. So if you have multiple offices, if you have remote employees, there's going to be a location near you to be able to participate. And Wreaths Across America has become a year-round mission. We just developed our amazing teaching curriculum by Gold Star mom Cindy Tatum, to getting into the schools and really showcasing, this positive engagement, coming together as community to remember and teach, but also showing a different side of how you can serve and succeed. And that's our theme for 2023 is serve and succeed, whether that's service through the military and coming out successful, whether you're serving and, your community and how that success has followed you along the way. So we're always looking forward to talking with truck drivers, trucking companies, and showing their service and success within their industry.
Yeah, and Courtney, was there something you wanted to add to that?
I'm going to add and just say, look, Wreaths Across America is the eighth wonder of the world. I participated with the trucking company when we got involved, and it was something that anyone who participates meets somebody, to Renee's point, you hear their story and you see that you are doing so much good out there and how important that truly is to people. You know that when you lay one wreath, you have positively impacted somebody else's life. And being able to say a small act like that helps somebody, whether it makes them happy, whether it helps them heal, that is what makes Wreaths Across America so special.
And to add to that, Courtney, you had spoken about it, Women in Trucking, how, this is the most important haul a truck driver will ever do in their career. And I think all of us, on the BCB Live team, it meant something to us that really struck us, what you said, and I love that. And yeah, can you just elaborate, Renee and Courtney, both on that? Like, why is it such an important haul in a truck driver's career?
I think that it is the most important haul because you have a driver who is not only, most of them have served, or they are going somewhere that they are very passionate about. I have a story of one driver this year who's from Vermont, whose son is interned in a, cemetery in Vermont. They weren't a participating cemetery, but you know what? He signed up to be a location coordinator and he hauled a load. And so I remember telling him, hey, if you haul a load, I'll make sure that your son has a wreath. I will promise you that. And the gentleman signed up as a coordinator. This was their first year participating. And the phone call that I got the night of the 18th to say thank you to me, which, this is about them. He was just so overcome and overwhelmed that this man was crying because it meant so much to him what the organization does and how much he, as an owner operator, is coming up to get that load and even wants to do an extra load next year. That's huge. That load meant more to him than anything he's ever hauled before, because he knew, I'm not only just doing this and it helped my son, but I helped so many other families.
Yeah, for sure. Renee, anything to add to that? Like, why to you is it the most important, haul that a truck driver will ever make?
I think just echoing Courtney is that, each one of those wreaths represents someone who's passed away, whether during service or have served in the military. Every wreath represents a story of service, sacrifice, and it gives, the family a little bit of peace knowing that when they're unable to go back to their loved one's grave, that someone else will be there to say that name out loud and take care of them and remember them. And that's, I think, what I've witnessed with Gold Star families is really important, that they don't want their loved ones' service to go after, to be lost and forgotten after they're no longer able to, speak on them. So that's why it's really important to go on out on National Wreaths Across America Day to just talk about your loved one too, and just, are they a football player? Were they in the trucking industry? Were they in Civil Air Patrol? Every story has a little connection. I've always seen every year there's this one takeaway. I mean, there's multiple, obviously, but there's always like one reflection where you're like, oh, wow, like just that one person, just that one family, but it's happening really across the world too. We're in the 3,700 locations, Puerto Rico, Guam, Cuba. We're going to continue to go overseas, and all of these families can have a little bit of peace knowing that, there might be someone, new learning about their family member.
Yeah, that's great. And to add to that, let me ask you guys, how important is it, and how can companies, at least in the trucking space, create a veteran inclusive work culture, work environment? Like, what are some of those practices that they can do to implement that?
So I'll start off and let Renee jump in too. The first thing, and a lot of trucking companies and companies in general will say we're a veteran-friendly hiring company. Anyone can say that. Veterans actually do the research, and the statistics are behind that, to see how you are helping veterans, how you do as a company sponsor and support veterans. So seeing that a company participates in Wreaths Across America, knowing that, we have some companies that haul 30 loads, or, I have one company that has 18 trucks and over half of their fleet is hauling loads. So that makes a really big difference. If you are someone who supports veterans, being able to see that your company is doing something that great is often really important to somebody. We've even had recruiters that have reached out and said, hey, I've got this guy I've been trying to hire, but he says he won't come to work, here if we don't participate in Wreaths Across America. What is this? And so we've been able to sign up more people. And we are super easy to get in touch with. If you call Wreaths Across America, or you just email trucking@wreathsacrossamerica.org, I will have a conversation with anyone basically at any time. I work whatever hours that our trucking partners need to talk with me or to work with me. So if you're in California, even if you're in Guam, I meet with you whenever works best for you, and we want to work with any partner. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Yeah, and how about you, Renee? What would you say that is important for a trucking company to offer veterans?
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity. Wreaths Across America is a great opportunity because we're in almost every community. You can reach a location on National Wreaths Across America Day as if you go to raceacrossamerica.org, we're in so many communities. So therefore, you're able to, if you are on the road, you are able to take pause and come out and participate. You are able to, sponsor wreath in a loved one's name. You can do it in honor and memory of a loved one. So it really creates a personal experience, and being able to go on a remembrance wall and write a note of your loved one's service. It just becomes really personal, and that's where we've seen the growth, and being able to highlight that on Raise Across America Radio. If you have a story of how you served and succeeded, reach out to Raise Across America Radio. We'd love to share stories. Raise Across America Radio is a 24-hour internet-based radio station, and it's the voice of the veterans. We have Trucking Tuesdays, like you mentioned, to share stories about how you are coming together and, really bringing in the mission of Raise Across America. And really, there doesn't take very much to look around and see what our veterans and, what they're doing for our country, what they're doing for the trucking industry, because they're the backbone, and we need to give them resources to be successful after they serve.
I just want to first say thank you both so much for being on the show today. It really is inspiring, and one, that there's women in leadership like you guys making such a difference, and two, of what you're doing for our industry as a whole. I think it's great, and obviously many people know that. And I really appreciate you guys being on BCB Live. We will definitely have you come back on, and I know for sure, Courtney, you're going to be at Truckload 2023, right?
Absolutely.
Renee, will you be? Yes.
Not sure just yet, but
Okay.
Love to have the opportunity. But I know
For
where
sure.
Courtney is. She's such a great ambassador of the mission. And if you are looking to get, to haul a load of respect, reach out to Courtney. She will be at these trucking trade shows, or reach out at raiseacrossamerica.org to find out how you can get involved too.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll be having you come back on here again soon, okay?
All right, thanks, Bryce.
All right, thank you, guys. That was the ladies with Race Across America. Courtney and Renee are just great, and it's obviously you need great people to lead a great organization. That's exactly what they're doing. I've been honored to interview them today, and honored to know them, and I hope those watching are interested. If you aren't already, take part in Race Across America. It's something great to do for our industry, and just help veterans, and give them the platform that they deserve. All right, guys, well, that is it for today's show. Think twice, Bryce. Look twice, Bryce. I don't know. We just do all of the above around here, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again on Monday, and I hope you guys have a great and safe weekend. Bye now.